New Jersey's first superhero is born when a nerdy janitor named Melvin Junko falls into some toxic waste after being mercilessly bullied by the cool kids at an athletic club. When I was about 11 years old, I was sitting in my living room when my dad ran in and said, "Turn the channel to USA, the Toxic Avenger is on." Now I had no idea what the Toxic Avenger was, and when I asked my dad, he said, "I don't know what it is either, but with a title like that, it has to be good." Me, Dad, and my brother sat and watched the entire movie on this random Sunday afternoon. The movie left quite a mark on me, and I couldn't wait to share it with friends, so I rented it the following weekend and was just absolutely blown away at how different the unrated version was. I'm honestly surprised that the Toxic Avenger could even be edited enough to play on regular TV. This is the definition of a B movie. It's over-the-top gross, and even though the movie is a dark comedy, it's ultra-violent and some of the scenes are really hard to watch, even if the gore looks really fake. Melvin Junko makes the nerds from Revenge of the Nerds look like suave Casanovas. This is his origin story, transforming from 98-pound nerd to a 7-foot-tall grotesque monster who wears a tutu, fights bad guys with a mop, and eats more eggs than any person should. If you are on the fence about whether or not you should watch The Toxic Avenger, let me say that there is a scene where a seeing eye dog is murdered with a shotgun. Now, as disturbing as that sounds, when you see the dog laying on the ground, you can clearly see that he is calmly breathing and just drenched in fake blood. No animals were hurt during the making of this movie. Now, nothing in The Toxic Avenger looks real. All the effects are done practically and with no budget. The Toxic Avenger's makeup and transformation scene, it looks great, but if you look closely, you can see exactly how they pulled it off. It almost feels like a movie that a group of creative teenagers would be capable of making in their backyard. There are more than a few shocking scenes. As soon as one crazy thing ends, another crazy thing happens. The bad guys are so disgusting. They comically overact in every scene. They have no redeeming qualities. They keep a tally of how many kids they've run over in their car. They beat up old ladies, try to sexually assault a blind woman, and in one scene that actually caused an actor to quit, they point a shotgun directly in the face of a baby. The Toxic Avenger is disgusting and disturbing on purpose, but underneath this unpolished filth is something special. You can tell Lloyd Kaufman and his film crew were passionate about this project. As unprofessional as it feels, you truly can feel the heart that it took to pull it off. The movie studio that made The Toxic Avenger is called Troma. They are known for making low-budget, sleazy films that have this huge cult following. Movies like Surf Nazis Must Die, Class of Nukem High, Sergeant Kabuki, NYPD, and Rabid Grannies. Now, all of these movies have this same guerrilla filmmaking charm, but if it weren't for The Toxic Avenger, many of them probably wouldn't exist. Much like Freddy Krueger is credited with solidifying New Line Cinema as a legitimate film company, The Toxic Avenger is credited with keeping Troma afloat for nearly 40 years. It took a few years, but The Toxic Avenger gained momentum, and it became a cult classic, spawning at least 3 sequels, a toy line, a Saturday morning cartoon, and even a Broadway stage play. The Toxic Avenger is a mystery. If you watch it, you're going to wonder how it became so popular and why anyone would spin this extremely R-rated film into a line of toys and cartoons. This is probably one of the best known and earliest examples of an underground phenomenon that became a timeless cult film. It's hilarious, it's over the top, full of memorable characters, even if you may want to watch a few of the scenes through your fingers. Couples that look like they just don't belong together. Eating eggs. Helping old ladies cross the road. Making a milkshake in a bully's mouth. Nerds. Peeing toxic waste. Robbing a restaurant.